Welcome on in. We are ready for the selection show right here, right now. And, we're going to get the selection show coming up in about 10 minutes' time. That's coming up right here, right now. We we're so excited to bring 68 teams to the Ncaa tournament in Indiana. And again, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what teams are going to be in, what teams are going to be out. Um, there and of course this year there have been a lot of uncertainties with the conference tournaments. There's been a lot of chaos. We've seen positive tests. We've seen big upsets, and we expect it to be no different in the NCAA tournament. We expect a lot of chaos as we always do in this first weekend. And I mean, I'm that's what I love to see. I love to see chaos, and chaos we will see. Now, all right, let's see here. So I will be back when we get the selection show started. I'm gonna have to do something here. All right, there we go. Again, I'll be back for the selection show. All right, welcome on in. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. Maybe not. But welcome on in. Selection show that is coming up in just a few moments' time. And the tournament, we're gonna get it going. It's going to be a fun one. All right, we're starting. They're starting it, guys. Gonzaga will be our #1 overall seed, I believe, here in the NCAA tournament. They are in the West region. Gonzaga, they will be playing the winner out of the first 4 game between Norfolk and Appalachian. This is the West region, by the way. Oklahoma into the NCAA tournament. They will take on Missouri, Oklahoma, Missouri. These games are on Saturday. Creighton will be the 5 seed in this bracket. Creighton will play UC Santa Barbara. Virginia will be a 4 seed here. They will take on the Bobcats of Ohio. USC is in a 6 seed. They will get Wichita State or Drake. That'll be an interesting game in the first 4. Kansas in as a 3 seed. They'll get Eastern Washington. It will be Oregon and VCU in a game. Iowa will be the #2 seed in the West region. They will take on Grand Canyon. That'll be an interesting game, to say the least. that is the West region. Got so much more coverage coming ahead. This is just the West region. We'll break it all down right here, right now. Because guess what? That's what we got time to do. All right. So that is going to be. So let's focus in on this West region that we've got here, right now. And what I really am seeing here as the best matchups here, I think Iowa Oregon in a second round matchup, that's going to be a great one. Certainly Virginia Creighton, a second round matchup. And then the first round, I really don't know how good VCU is this year against compared to an Oregon. We didn't have a lot of the non-conference. The non-conference was stripped down very much. And I'm really looking forward to that first four game that we'll see between Wichita State and Drake. These are two Midwest programs that are. Wichita State, of course, used to be in the same conference as Drake. Then they went to the American Conference. Drake, I expect to play in this game as a big underdog. They're coming out of the MVC. Wichita State, of course, was a higher seed in the American Conference. They barely get in as an 11 seed in the first four. And I think that this is going to be an interesting region that we have here. Like, I mean, you got Virginia, the ACC. You got USC and Oregon out of the Pac-12. This is a very diverse region that we've got here. And I don't know if that's what we're going to see going forward with every region, but I mean, I'm really excited to see this. Personally, I'm going to be pulling for the Iowa Hawkeyes, but I mean, Grand Canyon, I think you got to look out because you can't look ahead a single round when you're in Indiana. I think these games are all being played on Saturday, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not 100% on that, but I believe all of these games will be taking place on Saturday. And of course, you can always chat in the chat, and we'll, of course, have to respond because I'm, especially during these breaks that we've got here. We'll get a second region coming up. And I mean, it was no surprise to see Iowa at a 2, Gonzaga at a 1, and potentially a rematch in the Elite Eight. All right, here we go. More coverage. This is the second of our regions. Let's do this. Baylor will be the 1 seed in our second region. I don't know what they're going to call this region. I don't have the they'll be taking on Hartford, which got in, I believe, today. Am I doing this right? North Carolina will be in an 8 seed. They'll be taking on Wisconsin out of the Big Ten. So Baylor and Hartford. And it will be North Carolina taking on Wisconsin. Oh, goodness. Then we've got Villanova at a 5 seed. They have, of course, an early exit. They had a early exit to the Big East tournament. They'll be taking on Winthrop. The Purdue Boilermakers out of the Big Ten, they will get The Purdue will be getting, I believe, they'll take North Texas. All right. So these games are being played on Friday. Texas Tech will take on Utah State. Utah State in as an at-large team out of the Mountain West Conference. They will not be playing in the first four. They are in to the round of 64. That a game again taking place on Friday. Reseed in this region will be the Arkansas Razorbacks out of the SEC. They will take on Colgate out of the Patriot League, who won earlier their way in today. They played their way in earlier today out of the Patriot League. Our 7 seed coming up here in the South region. The Gators of Florida are into the NCAA tournament. And our 10 seed, Virginia Tech, the Hokies are into the NCAA tournament. And the Big Ten's Ohio State Buckeyes, which just lost in the Big Ten Tournament Championship. And they will be taking on Oral Roberts. All right, we got more coverage coming up. In just a moment, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. We're back right here in the NCAA tournament selection show coverage right here, right now. We're gonna get ready for another set of teams into the NCAA tournament. Here's the Midwest region getting you set. It will be the Illinois Fighting Illini out of the Midwest region as our 1 seed. Illinois will be taking on Drexel. In the Missouri Valley Conference, it is the Loyola Chicago Ramblers. So it would be interesting. Illinois taking on Loyola Chicago potentially in the second round, but they will have to get through Georgia Tech, who is the ACC tournament champions. Tennessee will be the 5 seed in the Midwest region. They will get Oregon State, who is the automatic bid out of the Pac-12. It'll be the 4 seed being Oklahoma State. They will get Liberty. Liberty Flames out of Virginia. San Diego State will be the 6th seed in the Midwest. And San Diego State these games are on Friday and Sunday. They will be taking on Syracuse, one of the last teams in out of the ACC. Here we go. Number 3 seed is coming up. West Virginia will be the 3 seed. The 14 seed in the Midwest region will be Morehead State. Seven seed Clemson Tigers out of the ACC. Quite a bit of. They will take on Rutgers out of the Big Ten Conference. Number 2 seed, the Houston Cougars. Houston will be taking on the Cleveland State team. All right, let's break down this Midwest region here. All right, let's break down this Midwest region. Illinois, of course, probably a big favorite in this region. I mean, I like Tennessee as well. I think I like Oklahoma State as well. I think Tennessee will get through that to play Illinois, and that'll be an amazing Sweet 16 matchup. And I don't really know about the bottom of the bracket is quite a bit weaker. I think we can see. I could definitely see an upset going down in the bottom of this Midwest region. This one, a lot of lesser known teams. We got Loyola Chicago in this one. Got a lot of teams who haven't really been in the NCAA tournament. I like Rutgers actually in this. In the, I think they can give Houston a run for their money come the second round if they can get through Clemson. I think I'll take Rutgers to get the win over Clemson and potentially give Houston a run for their money. All right, I'm very sorry, but I was busy during the last break, so I didn't really get much into this region. This one, I believe, is I think it's the South region here. Baylor, I think Baylor, Wisconsin, I think is Carolina, Wisconsin. That's just a good game. Wisconsin is a fighter. They are a great team. They gave Iowa a run for their money come Friday night. I think Wisconsin and North Carolina. That's going to be the game of the really of this weekend that we're going to have on Thursday or on Friday and Saturday. And yeah, these games will be played on Friday. To be clear, Ohio State. I think they can easily get through the bottom of this bracket. The only team that Ohio State really has to get through is Arkansas. I don't think Florida is good. And I don't really know about Texas Tech. They'll be taking on North Texas potentially, an upset somewhere in this. And Purdue Villanova, I think they've met quite a few times in the last 10 years in March. Uh, so that will be interesting. They'll get Purdue and Villanova. Maybe they've only met once, but they've always been around that 4 or 5 line. Very consistent, those two programs. And I don't really know what else to say about this region. We'll go back to the region that we just had, and we got one more region to go. And then we'll have all the teams selected into the NCAA tournament, and then everyone can go fill out their own bracket and get us. You guys can make your brackets tonight. I'll probably post these brackets somewhere. All right, final region. Something I like put this die. All right, final region here. The East region. It's Michigan. All right, Michigan, the 1 seed. Mount St. Mary's, Texas Southern. LSU Tigers coming in at the 8 seed. LSU, of course, coming up just short earlier today in their championship game against Alabama. St. Bonaventure. Colorado going to come in at the 5 seed. They'll take on Georgetown, which was the automatic bid out of the Big East. Number 4 seed in the East region. These games taken on Saturday. These games are taking place on Saturday because there are first 4 matchups taking place. And the first 4 taking place on Thursday, first round on Friday and Saturday. So, Florida State. '13 seed will be UNCG. Final part of the bracket, BYU will be the 6th seed. BYU at 20-6 out of the West Coast Conference. And our final teams into the tournament, Michigan State and UCLA, will be playing. All right, that's going to be an interesting game on Thursday. Michigan State, UCLA. I think that's that's got to be the game of the week, or the game of the night on Thursday. Texas will be the 3 seed. Of course, Maryland, their name has yet to be called, so potentially they'll be in at that 10 seed, but we do not know. Abilene Christian will be taking on Texas. UConn in at the 7 seed. Maryland, I told y'all, we got this behind the scenes stuff, guys. Maryland, they're into the NCAA tournament as the 10 seed. Alabama will be the 2 seed in the East region. Alabama, they will play the final team we announced today, and that is the Gales of Iona. All right, we're done. We got all these teams into the NCAA tournament. The Big Ten with the most teams with 9. The ACC and Big 12 with 7 teams each. The SEC of 6. Pac-12 5. Big East with 4. The AAC, A10, Mountain West, Missouri Valley, all with 2. These are the first 4 teams who missed the tournament. Louisville, Colorado State, St. Louis, and Ole Miss, and they could be in as a replacement team. Louisville, of course, the first team out of the tournament, and whoever saw Louisville, the win over Duke would have gotten them into the tournament. I think they played Duke. All right, so that is going to do it. We're going to break down this final region right here. That's always my fault that I don't press the right buttons there. Michigan should be an easy team to get to the Sweet 16, and I think they will win against either Colorado or Florida State, or even Georgetown in this. I think Georgetown, one of the most dangerous teams. The last 4 in, Michigan State, UCLA, and Wichita State, Drake. Those are the last 4 teams in the tournament as at-larges. I think I have a problem with all. I mean, I don't really have a problem. I don't have a problem because guess what? You can earn yourself a 10 seed pretty easily in this. You shouldn't be on the bubble at the end of the year. That's the reality of it. But in this region, I think the bottom of this region, that winner of that Michigan State UCLA game, I think they've got a chance against Texas. And then I just think Maryland could beat UConn and get through to Alabama. And I think Alabama will probably win that. Uh, I just think Alabama and Michigan are on a collision course in this one. I think Alabama really proved to the nation that they are legit today when they beat LSU, and they faced some adversity today. All right, that's going to do it for us. If you didn't see all the brackets, you can rewind, look at all the other brackets that we had previously. Again, this has been the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament Selection Show. We expect to hear from the committee on times and television selections later tonight. That's typically how it goes. There's no times right now. I don't know, maybe 2 years ago they might have done it where they didn't have the times initially and we had to wait. But we do know one thing. The East region, along with the West region, they will be playing on Saturday, and the Midwest and South regions, they will be playing starting on Friday. So, if you're a fan of a team in the East region or the West region, you'll have to wait till Saturday, and you're also potentially going to have to take off some work on a Monday to see your team play in the NCAA tournament. So this will all be worked out. We don't just because of this logistical nightmare, there are subject to change. A lot of things will change and could potentially change, and that is why we will likely see a very, very late announcement of the times of these games, potentially tonight, maybe even as late as tomorrow. I do not have an answer for you on when these games will take place in terms of time and TV at this point. But we do know that there will be 4 games on Friday, 4 games on Saturday on each of CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. So, I mean, all of those networks potentially could have the game you are looking for on Friday and Saturday. And remember, Sunday will be the second round for the games that are played on Saturday, or for the games on Friday. And then Monday, we'll have games all day long. There's a game starting Monday at noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time on CBS. So, I mean, that's just unfortunate that we're still having games played at hours that, no one's really going to. We'll have to see what the viewership is for that game that we get on Monday at noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific. But they'll probably put the big matchups in primetime on CBS, and then they'll put good matchups during the day on CBS. So potentially the matchups we could see in that, I think we could see a 4-5 potentially in one of those early windows. So you do need to know that this is going to be made for TV. They don't have to make this really where it's based on geography and anything like that. This is all going to be made for TV. TV is going to be very happy. And, that's why we don't have it. Because TV, they're all fighting. They're like, oh, we want to have Michigan. We want to have, Alabama. We want to have Michigan State, UCLA. But that's going to be on that's probably going to be on like TBS or True TV. Likely it'll be the later of the games. Drake and Wichita State will probably be the game that starts just a tad earlier. And Michigan State, UCLA will be the game that starts at. Let me check. Let me have I have the time sheet right here. For the first 4, we'll have a game at 4 Central Time, 5:20 Central Time, 7:30 Central Time, and a game at about 9 Central Time. You can convert that to your time zone you can have. And this is the daylight time as well. So, so the first 4, I think we should have had TV for the first 4, but
we'll probably have that Michigan State UCLA game starting at around 9 Central Time, which is 10 on the East Coast. As a late night game, I know. But there's a game starting as early as 4 Central Time, and it's going to be drawn out across that day, across TBS and True TV. So I expect to see Michigan State UCLA at around 9 Central Time. And then the Wichita State game will probably be at about 7:30 Central. And then I just don't care about the other two games. I'm sorry, I just don't care about the other two games. They usually are just teams playing. It feels like it's an exhibition. But they could switch it up and they could have both of the 11 versus 11 games running on one network and both the 16 versus 16 games running on the other network, which is very possible. And that could be, but I think the time slots are more important than, because I don't think people on the West Coast would be happy with a 3:20 start for games that matter. Of course, we usually start at 9 a.m. Pacific. So, all right, that'll do it for us. Enjoy March Madness. I'll flip through all the brackets real quick here. Here's the East region. Here's the Midwest region, featuring Illinois and Houston. Here is the South region, featuring Baylor, Ohio State, as well as Arkansas, and Purdue, and Villanova. All right, here is the first region we showed you, the West region, featuring Iowa, Gonzaga, Kansas, Creighton, and Virginia. So it's going to be fun. Going to be starting. We've got all of our coverage coming for you right here. We hopefully we'll have coverage here on the Star. This is going to be fun. Bringing you the March Madness. But I really just don't have anything else to say for you guys. Again, hope you have a great night, great week coming ahead on, as this is spring break for most people this week. All right, again, coverage beginning with the first four on Thursday in the late afternoon and into the late evening with 4 games. The 4 games that will be featured, we've got Norfolk State taking on Appalachian State, Wichita State and Drake. And then we've got Mount St. Mary's and Texas Southern, as well as the great game between Michigan State and UCLA. Those are our first 4 games we'll have for you on Thursday. And then, of course, we get first round coverage on Friday and Saturday. East and West will get it. We'll take the back half. So South and Midwest will get going on Friday. And Saturday, we will have the West and the East going in action on Saturday. And then Sunday, we'll again be back in the Midwest and the South on Sunday. And then on Monday, we'll get back to the East and the West. I hope that all makes sense for you.